As you blokes know, I'm a bit of a sook, so particularly with player retirement, so I'll try and keep it pretty brief. Yeah, look, I guess it might be a surprise to some of you, probably a few of you. I guess I've sort of, when I signed my last contract here, I always thought this would be my last one, and I thought, it was the end of next year, 15 years and 23 years in the coaching stuff. Maybe I've wrung it out as much as I could wring it out. It was always going to coincide with Sahara finishing school the end of next year. When you think about sort of that amount of time, it's been quite significant. I guess about 18 months ago I spoke to Tom and said, look, I'm not sure whether I can get through the end of 2025. See how we go, and I had a chat with him again in, it was about halfway through this year. We were absolutely flying and playing the best footy I've ever seen, a group play really for a sustained period of time. I think we were 12-1, we were 3 games clear on top of the ladder. You blokes are unreal. Footy department's going great. I just thought, the crowds were enormous and I spoke to Tom then and said, and Andrew, and said, look, I'm not sure whether I'll be able to get through to next year, the end of next year. And so we sort of put it on hold a little bit and have a bit of a think about it, and got through to the end of the year, towards the end of the year, and I thought maybe I'll be okay. I said to Tom, I think I'll be okay, push through. I was talking to Andrew about it as well all the way through. Harden up, get on with life, you'll be right. And then sort of I've been chopping and changing a little bit. I think when the season finishes, you're always, at every coach, I had a chat to Robbo about it this morning, and every coach you just feel just need to have a rest. And I've been like that every year I've coached. And so this year I got to that stage and had a bit of a breather. Took a few weeks off. We'd already organised for Coxie and Leon and Benny and the crew to keep going, so that was always going to be the case. I went over to the UK, met Tom over there, and drunk Guinness like it was going out of fashion, and went to a couple of bars and watched Liverpool play, mate. Watched the boys take the chocolates. Enjoyed that, but I couldn't help get rid of this feeling that maybe it's time. And I came up here the end of 2001. I remember going home. I was, I had a great job in Melbourne. Shelley had just bought a new house. I walked into the lounge room, and all the boxes were unpacked. Oh, sorry, still to be unpacked. A brand new house we had. It was going to be our house forever. And I walked in and said, "Listen, how about we go to Sydney?" And she said, "Are you effing joking?" And I said, "No." I said, I wouldn't mind a new adventure, and you wouldn't mind something a bit different. Wouldn't mind getting to heading up to Sydney. What do you think?" And to her great credit, she didn't punch me in the nose. She said, "Yeah, okay, let's go." I remember about I had a great job, new house, everything sort of ready to get married, ready to start our journey in Melbourne, and pivoted pretty in a big way. So glad I did. 6 months in, I guess Rodney Eade left, and wasn't sure what the future was, and a bit of uncertainty, and thought, what have I done? I'm not sure whether I've done the right thing here. And fortunately got to know Roosie really well, and that was also the same time I met Andrew Pridham, and got to know the board and got to know the executive. Andrew Island was here. Really fortunate to have some great people around the footy club. Went through that period and was very much the beneficiary of what Roosie was able to do with the footy club, and thought if I could ever get to the point that I could do the same thing, that had meant a lot to me. And I know we talk about passing the baton over to someone else, whether you're a player or you're a staff member. And I talked about it with players a lot. Well, it's the same thing as a coach. Sometimes it's you got to make sure that the joint's in a pretty good spot. And this year I just, I looked at what you blokes were doing. It was unreal. It was it was great fun watching you blokes play footy, watching you blokes train, the whole lot. And I thought, on field we're in great shape. I still think that we're in super shape. And I reckon, watching you blokes play this year has been one of the great thrills. Going to the SCG, listening to the crowds, record membership, listing good spot. I feel good about that. I feel really good about that. There's a lot of thank yous. Firstly to Andrew and Tom. I've been talking to them all the way through, and once again I've sort of chopped and changed a bit what I thought I was doing, and they've given me a bit of time and space to work that out. For me and obviously for the footy club, I didn't want to get through halfway through next year and get to the point where everyone was sick of me and where my stay out. You think, after a long time, I just didn't want that. I valued so much the relationships I've been able to build through so many generations of players, staff and board. So I thank you to Andrew and Tom, who's not here today. His dad's crook. But I thank Andrew and Tom. I thank our board right the way through. There's a few guys here. Peter's here as well. Good to see you. And I've been able to build such great relationships with so many important people to this club, which I really value. Stability is an amazing thing, and I don't take it for granted how important that's been to me being able to coach. It's something I've never had to worry about, is instability, and you've got no idea how much of a difference that makes. So I wanted to thank all the board. Obviously going back to Richard Collis, who's got a funeral today, but I spoke to him last night, and Andrew Ireland, those guys in particular that took a punt on me early days, and I've just been so lucky to have just two chairmen, in my time, both as 22 years, and you've got no idea how much of a difference that makes. It probably doesn't resonate with a lot of you guys, but it makes a big difference. I want to thank all the staff, both past and current. I think Carly, I just spot you up here, mate. You're holding the flag now for us guys that have been around long enough. When you think of 22 years at the footy club, it's been quite extraordinary. I've met some wonderful staff. This is as good a group of staff as I've worked with. I've worked with some great staff. All of them have been fantastic. Got some great friendships out of that. Some of the assistant coaches that I've been able to work with over the years have been extraordinary. Really good people, good friendships. I want to thank the playing groups that I've been involved with. Generations of them. I've been lucky enough. I spoke to a few of them today, whether it's Jude or Goodsy or Joey and all that crew, Bard, right through to you blokes. And I feel so lucky to have seen you guys, most of you guys, including even the new crop that have turned up, play as 18-year-olds and watch their vision and been part of that recruitment with Kinnear, who I also want to thank. A tough competition with equalisation. It makes it a real challenge to stay at the top, and so I treasure the relationship I've had with Kinnear. And I've watched a lot of you guys play as 18-year-old kids. It's been an enormous pleasure to watch you guys come through, 18-year-old kids, to playing your first game, a lot of you, to becoming established quality AFL players, and then in a lot of times have kids and retire and move on. And I'm fortunate to be able to call a lot of you guys friends, and that's what I appreciate almost the most is that. We've been on a hell of a journey. It's been awesome. So feel so lucky, so grateful. I remember early days right through to, I thought some of the, we went on the hub, and I'll tell you what, if there was a hub tomorrow, I'd go. I don't care, I'll cut the oranges off. I absolutely love the hub. But I put that down as one of the great experiences that we've been able to have. Some of the challenges, some of the highs, some of the lows have been amazing, and it all made it sort of so much worthwhile. Who else? We'll get to Coxie in a minute. Obviously, Macca and the assistant coaches, want to thank you guys. Thank the family. As I mentioned, I won't look at them. But Shell, probably a lot of you don't see, she's not one that sticks her head in too much as far as what's going on at the footy club. She's always there though to support. She's always there to support me, whether it's you'll be right, or a couple of times on a Sunday night she says, stop your sook and get in there and get to work and lead these guys back to where they need to go. And sometimes that's what you need too, and that's why I appreciate what you've done so much. It's just she'd have to be the lowest maintenance head coach's wife in the history of footy, I reckon. But thank you. The kids, I've missed a lot of their sport. I think there was, a couple of years ago, I think I went and watched them play 3 times for the year. That's all of them. Even when I was home and trying to listen, sometimes I wasn't that present because the reality was footy was first for a lot of the times, and I'm very fortunate to get to the end of my coaching here and still have the family really close, and I really appreciate you guys that you guys have enjoyed the journey as well, and I feel thankful that I've done a coaching job in Sydney because it's made it so much easier for my family, and I really appreciate that. So thank you to you guys. They're growing up now and doing their own stuff, and I think it's been a great. I've been so fortunate to have them by my side as well. And just before I say a couple of words about Coxie, I just wanted to thank the players and over the journey, the leaders in particular that I've worked really close with. That have, the older, experienced guys that I've got to know over a long period of time, and thought about it different times and come in and stuck their head in my office and said, "Hey, go and coach." And I really appreciate that because it's a ruthless business. It's an exciting business. It's great fun, but that means a lot to me as well. Now, Coxie, you're in great hands. The big fella's ready to go. He's already parked in my car park out the front. Sent me a text message last night saying we ain't going to get out of the office, but I'm really fortunate. We had coffee at the old Azua over at the SCG there, over at the old footy stadium. We sat down, had a coffee with Coxie and Kerry, and they come from obviously the other side of the country, and it was a big jump for you guys. And I just want to say thank you for taking the step and for not doing what's easy. And I think sometimes we can sort of think in times that sometimes we can take the easy option, and you jumped Coxie at that point in time, and you've been fantastic to work with. You'll be a great coach. I wish you all the best to what you do with this group, and can't wait to sit back and watch this team evolve under you and the coaching team. And mate, you're ready to go. You've had 10 years experience. You don't get much more than that. And so all the best to you. That's it, boys. I'm still got a role here to do in the new year at some point. I'll be hanging around doing something, but I'll be probably up at somewhere really close to the breakfast bar. But hope you go well. You'll be fine. I'll be around here supporting you as much as I can. And thanks to the staff. Thanks to the playing group. Thanks for letting me be your coach. And good luck.